In princípio, era-te verbum. Verbalizar o canal de verbos.
Verb to do. Indicative present. I do, not do. You do, not do. He does, not do. We do, not do. You do, not do. They do, not do. I don't, do. You don't, do. He doesn't, do. We don't, do. You don't, do. They don't, do. Indicative present continuous. I am not doing. You are not doing. He is not doing. We are not doing. You are not doing. They are not doing. I'm not doing. You aren't doing. He isn't doing. We aren't doing. You aren't doing. They aren't doing. Indicative present perfect. I have not done. You have not done. He has not done. We have not done. You have not done. They have not done. I haven't done. You haven't done. He hasn't done. We haven't done. You haven't done. They haven't done. Indicative present perfect continuous. I have not been doing. You have not been doing. He has not been doing. We have not been doing. You have not been doing. They have not been doing. I haven't been doing. You haven't been doing. He hasn't been doing. We haven't been doing. You haven't been doing. They haven't been doing. Indicative pluperfect. I had not done. You had not done. He had not done. We had not done. You had not done. They had not done. I hadn't done. You hadn't done. He hadn't done. We hadn't done. You hadn't done. They hadn't done. Indicative pluperfect continuous. I had not been doing. You had not been doing. He had not been doing. We had not been doing. You had not been doing. They had not been doing. I hadn't been doing. You hadn't been doing. He hadn't been doing. We hadn't been doing. You hadn't been doing. They hadn't been doing. Indicative preterite. I did not do. You did not do. He did not do. We did not do. You did not do. They did not do. I didn't do. You didn't do. He didn't do. We didn't do. You didn't do. They didn't do. Indicative preterite continuous. I was not doing. You were not doing. He was not doing. We were not doing. You were not doing. They were not doing. I wasn't doing. You weren't doing. He wasn't doing. We weren't doing. You weren't doing. They weren't doing. Indicative future. I will not do. You will not do. He will not do. We will not do. You will not do. They will not do. I won't do. You won't do. He won't do. We won't do. You won't do. They won't do. Indicative future continuous. I will not be doing. You will not be doing. He will not be doing. We will not be doing. You will not be doing. They will not be doing. I won't be doing. You won't be doing. He won't be doing. We won't be doing. You won't be doing. They won't be doing. Indicative future perfect. I will not have done. You will not have done. He will not have done. We will not have done. You will not have done. They will not have done. I won't have done. You won't have done. He won't have done. We won't have done. You won't have done. They won't have done. Indicative future perfect continuous. I will not have been doing. You will not have been doing. He will not have been doing. We will not have been doing. You will not have been doing. They will not have been doing. I won't have been doing. You won't have been doing. He won't have been doing. We won't have been doing. You won't have been doing. They won't have been doing. Conditional present. I would not do. You would not do. He would not do. We would not do. You would not do. They would not do. I wouldn't do. You wouldn't do. He wouldn't do. We wouldn't do. You wouldn't do. They wouldn't do. Conditional present continuous. I would not be doing. You would not be doing. He would not be doing. We would not be doing. You would not be doing. They would not be doing. I wouldn't be doing. You wouldn't be doing. He wouldn't be doing. We wouldn't be doing. You wouldn't be doing. They wouldn't be doing. Conditional past. I would not have done. You would not have done. He would not have done. We would not have done. You would not have done. They would not have done. I wouldn't have done. You wouldn't have done. He wouldn't have done. We wouldn't have done. You wouldn't have done. They wouldn't have done. Conditional past continuous. I would not have been doing. You would not have been doing. He would not have been doing. We would not have been doing. You would not have been doing. They would not have been doing. I wouldn't have been doing. You wouldn't have been doing. He wouldn't have been doing. We wouldn't have been doing. You wouldn't have been doing. They wouldn't have been doing.
In princípio, erat verbum. Verbalizar o canal de verbos